The spotlight is firmly on the women's basketball scene in the Philippines. Now, joining us today to talk more about this are Newsome and Raiza Palmera-Dy. Mga idol, welcome to the game.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, let's start it off with Raiza. You've had, experience in playing internationally in the UAAP. UAAP legend, by the way, two-time champ. Raiza, you've seen the different kinds of Gilas, with Coach Pat and the previous editions of that. Ano yung nakita mo in terms of like the growth of, Gilas women's basketball dito sa Philippines?
I mean, honestly, nakita ko sa growth ng women's basketball. Back then, I'm playing with Coach Pat back in 2015. So, we got promoted to Division 1.
Right.
And then, a year after that, 2016, we played Siaba and we got gold as well.
Right.
And then, fast forward, 2019, 2020, back-to-back gold medal, di ba? For Gilas, Pilipinas. So, I think the progress is there. I think we are on the right track.
Basically, Pao, kung wala sila Raiza,
Yeah.
wala tayo sa Division 1 ngayon. Nag-stay na tayo sa Division 1 since the start.
Oo,
since
tama
that-
yan.
that
Tama yan.
year.
But Mel, we have talked a lot about the achievements of the Gilas Pilipinas team recently. Apart from that, we just go back to the 2019 Southeast Asian Games, winning the gold there. You take a look about the success of the national team. How do you think that has inspired women's basketball here in general, not just grassroots, but even for those playing in the UAP at the moment?
I think it's inspired them greatly. Like even when I moved here, the national team was majority NU. So
Yeah.
seeing
Right.
other players be brought in now, it's inspiring everyone that they can make the national team, and it's raising the level of competition. So, and I think that's why we've been performing well.
Yeah, the Ateneo girls
Yeah.
have start to show up in the national team level.
And she played with some of the Ateneo
Yeah.
girls playing for Gilas right now. But Mel, I just want to quickly ask, the recent editions actually of the Gilas teams, Gilas women's teams, there are a bunch of Phil-Amps coming in, and you've had that experience from America coming here to the Philippines. And how is that experience? Slowly the basketball scene is growing, and then the players from the States want to go to the Philippines because it's a basketball crazy country.
It's very different for sure. I know when I first moved here, I was culture shocked within the game of basketball because it's a very different style of play out here. But it's fun, and it's I love being out on that court, and I'm sure all the Phil-Ams feel the same way. So.
You talk about the style. So I want to go to one of the OGs of that style. Raiza.
Parang na-reveal yung age.
Wala naman. I mean, na-mention mo naman 2015 ka nagsimula sa Perlas at that time.
Yeah,
and became Gilas.
Correct.
You talk about the style ng Gilas Pilipinas women. It feels like it's evolved, especially to adapt to the international style. Coach Pat has changed the way the Gilas women have played throughout the years. How would you say the progression has gone from 2015 to today in terms of yung top-level women's basketball natin?
Well, I think malaki yung part is because si Coach Pat, before it's his first stint sa back then, 2015 first
Right.
year niya coaching the national team. Pero ngayon, I can see na alam niya na yung flow with regards sa mga babae, kung paano niya iikot yung mga tao. And at the same time, nag-evolve na rin talaga because nag-focus na siya more of drive, kick-out, shooting. So, yun yung mas nag-click for mga current stint natin nationally.
Mel, for the uninitiated, whether you be watching abroad or you're here and you're curious about women's basketball here, how would you describe, simply put, women's basketball here in the Philippines? The style of play, what you're going to feel once you play against a seasoned Filipina baller?
Very quick, fast-paced game. I know we talked about it earlier. Very scrappy as well. I know when I moved here, I was initially a shooting guard, and then when I moved out here, they converted me to a forward because the game's that fast out here.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
So that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, Jeko, when he started out, he was a center.
Yeah.
But
Never happened in my life.
Grade school center.
but sa mosquito level,
Anyway, so let's talk about Gilas. I mean, from Gilas women, let's talk about the UAAP. I believe that there wouldn't be the Gilas players now without the UAAP, without the opportunities that the UAAP would give these women hoopers. Ikaw, Raiza, nakita mo rin you're a two-time champ in the women's division. How has that grown? Yung how we recognize women's basketball here in the Philippines from your time to now?
Actually, nag-start kami during my days. Nakita ko, wala masyadong Phil-Ams, imports. But now, because of the recruitments, nag-start sa NU. And then, sumunod na lahat ng schools.
Right.
So, na-challenge sila. And it's a good thing because tumataas yung level of competition here in the Philippines.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at girls like si Jack, who started out in the UAAP, now has billboards in EDSA.
Yeah.
Mel, you take a look at the type of inspiration that brings to some of the younger UAAP players. Just what do you feel that means to them?
Jack, for instance, when I played against her, I always thought she deserved it. She was one of the best players I played against in the UAAP. Not only did she have the size, but she had the skill as well. So seeing her now that she's one of our idols and she's excelling in the game, for sure that inspires younger girls that want to be like her. And she proves to them that it is possible to break those boundaries.
Well, definitely. It starts, in all these different leagues
Yeah.
for women's basketball just to get recognition. And Raiza, how do you see this going in terms of women's basketball in general? How will it progress? How will it, gain more traction dito sa Philippines?
Especially with how competitive the UAP is set out to be right now. Again, Ateneo, LaSalle, all look good. UST look
Sumasabay
good.
na, yeah.
And you are no longer just the sure winners. It's always going to be a competition
Dati
right now.
tinatalo lang nila yung NU.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
Well, alam mo, I'm really happy kung nasan yung women's basketball because there's a lot of opportunities. Like for us, diba, we were invited to be a sports analyst this coming UAAP. So, I'm happy because maraming opportunities now for women's basketball.
Oh, na-announce na dito sa The Game.
They announced it themselves.
Raiza and Melissa.
Talking about opportunities.
Talking about opportunities, great segue. These two are going to be part of the UAP coverage for the women's basketball. We're excited to see you're all under training right now. I know your teachers. Okay. Yeah, and we can't wait to see how great you're gonna do. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.